Well, I hadn't made a video in a while. This video is probably it's not gonna be about my 1984 Ford pickup or some Confederate stuff. I went to an antique gun show at Tucker Hall over in China Springs, and that's a good gun show. I don't know if a lot of y'all are like me, kind of tired of regular gun shows. The vibe ain't the same. You know, these gun shows nowadays, they're all about the plastic guns, AR, Glocks, and they don't, people are just buying everything up because I guess they're afraid they're going to get banned. And don't get me wrong, that plastic stuff's good. I own a bunch of it. If you're going to war, or if you're doing a lot of real serious shooting, I guess that's the stuff you really want. It is good. It's the modern stuff. But it just ain't appealing to me. It doesn't have the history. It's just, I don't know. I like firearms that were crafted and made by workmanship and hands and made on machines and lathe and hand fitted, and just the old stuff is just, in 100 years from now, the old stuff will still be worth money. And even the remake of old stuff will still have value because it's just cool. And a lot of the Western type guns, you can still use them today. If you're ranching and farming, you still use these firearms to this day. They're still effective. And the modern stuff's effective. Not knocking it. This video is not about that. But the vibe at these new gun shows nowadays, you know, used to gun shows were fun and people were excited, and you know, it was like, and they would wheel and deal. Now it's like, if you don't pay that price, the premium price, the next guy will. And the last gun shows I've been to, they're more about peanut brittle and purses and beef jerky and all these things, craft items, and some of that stuff's cool. But when it's like 50% of the gun show, that's not fun to me. And the last Bell County Expo, Bell County gun show I went to, man, there were more knives. They should have called that a knife show with some guns. There were more displays of knives. I mean, I like knives, don't get me wrong, I like knives. But I go to gun shows to look at guns, really. Not purses and peanut brittle and beef jerky and solar panels and whatever else. But anyway, I wanted to talk about antique gun shows, like the one in Tucker Hall, where you can go actually find old Indian bows and Indian arrows and stuff from the Civil War and Sharps rifles and cool stuff, double barrel shotguns with the double set. And I'm talking to the traditional old country guys, I guess, because I know we're a small minority nowadays. But if you're like me and you like that stuff, you need to go to Tucker Hall Gun Show. They've got pistols, peacemakers that have provenance that sheriffs or deputies or outlaws own them, that some of them will be $16,000, $20,000. Some of them are affordable. But I went and traded yesterday a high wall, Browning high wall, and for a pistol that I'm kind of liking. It's an interarms revolver, 44 mag, and man, it is one beefed up gun. And I just wanted to show it to you. I mean, they're made in Virginia. It's stainless steel. This thing's a hog leg, 44 mag, single action, of course. But man, when you look at this gun, how much metal is in here, stainless, and then it's got the groove in it so you can put a scope on it. It's got the sights right there, adjustable sights, like a Black Hawk. It doesn't have a transfer bar, so you have to put it in this half cock thing if you run road 6 rounds. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on it yesterday, and they say every one of them has a chip in the stock. Sure enough, mine does too. So I got to get another grip. But it's a fine looking pistol. Now YouTube, don't worry, I'm not going to shoot it. They've got a bunch of new rules on YouTube. You have to be in a range or something to shoot a gun. I'm just going to show it. I'm not shooting it. Although I own my own land here, so I can shoot a gun pretty much anywhere I want. Yeah, I don't know YouTube, but I want to show you this Blackhawk. And here's a Blackhawk that I love too. I ain't knocking Ruger, I love them. I'm going to tell you right now, this interarms is a lot beefier made than that Blackhawk. Not a lot, but it is. And you see these Blackhawks, they call them flat top. Which isn't 45 long Colt. It's not a 44 mag, but it would have been the same frame. But if you look there, the interarms is more traditional Colt looking the way it does in the front here. Right in here, opposed to the flat top. And I like the hammers more traditional, like a Colt. The Blackhawk's nice, but the main thing, if you're a big guy with a pretty good sized hand, and I've got a pretty good sized hand, look at that grip. See the pinky coming down on the end. This thing's got the big old grip for a big hand. So I'm pretty, and the other thing that I wanted to show you is that you know how they talk about the recessed chambers on the Smith & Wesson? Well, these are recessed chambers on these. So your clearance between the force and cone, the tolerances are way tighter. You don't see any gap or air between the force and cone and cylinder, and that's because, look how tight that is. That's because they're recessed chambers for the 44 mag. You can see the shell casings on this one. You can probably see some light between the force and cone and that one. So anyway, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's a hawker of a pistol, man. That thing is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a lot of beef in it now. They say these pistols, which this is a Virginia, I don't know if you can see it, Virginia Dragoon. And they were made in patent in 76, so this, or 74, so this is probably anywhere from 74 to 76. And on the bottom, they say Sic Semper Tyrannius, which I guess is Latin, which is Virginia's motto for stop tyranny, maybe. Kind of cool, and those were different. Every one of them, they had 3 or 4 different, some of them said don't tread on me, but look how big the barrel is on that, the front sight. Look at the size of the, which that Ruger's a 4-inch, and I think this is like a 5.5 maybe. It's got a barrel on her. Anyway, I feel pretty good. I traded that high wall off because I'd bought me another high wall made in Morocco, Japan. And I love these high walls. Anybody tell you these high walls out of Morocco, Japan ain't any good? I mean, if you were in World War I and you're, you know, I could understand people not liking them. But you need to understand, Japan invented gunpowder. And Morocco, Japan, from what I understand, been making firearms since like the 1890s. And we're not talking China or Korea here. They make a fine firearm, and don't let nobody tell you they don't. And I've had a few of these, and this is my newest one. And man, I'm just really, let me flip this side up. See, my other one didn't have this tang right here where you can put the peep sight. But that's a fine rifle right there, people. Browning high wall. 45-70. Shoots a pretty good sized chunk of lead. A lot of fun. So anyway, I just wanted to show you my newest pistol. Stainless. I like those inner arms. I hadn't shot it yet. I will shoot it. Of course, you know, they say those inner arms do not like light bullets, jacketed small light bullets. The bigger the bullet, the better. So anyway, that's my video for today. Hadn't made one in a while. So I was out here cutting a little wood. Figured I'd show off my new pistol. Y'all have a good day.